This video discusses the deaths of Malikah Shabbaz, the daughter of civil rights leader Malcolm X, fashion titan Virgil Abloh, and comments on the guilty verdict on the Ahmaud Arbery trial. Hello friends, this is Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, where I provide unique analysis of world events based on the unmasked truth that after surrender, Germany continued World War II clandestinely and became a killing machine. I also provide true news that you will find nowhere else. Malikah Shabbaz, 56 years old, the youngest of six daughters of the slain civil rights leader Malcolm X, died on Monday, November 22, 2021. She was found unconscious by her daughter in her Brooklyn, New York apartment and later died. New York police said that her death appears to be from natural causes. Malikah Shabbaz and her twin sister Malak were born 6 months after Malcolm X was assassinated. Not much has been reported about her except for an arrest in 2017 on animal cruelty charges. She also had a falling out with her sisters. There was nothing remarkable about Malikah's life for me to discuss here, except that she was Malcolm X's daughter. Malcolm X became a prominent civil rights leader who had an untimely death at age 39 due to assassination. But people became important leaders in the civil rights movement only with the sport of German masqueraders, and that sport was given only after the hurdle qualification was met, which was to murder a white adult and or child of non-German ancestry. Malcolm X had met that qualification. The tragedy is that Malikah Shabbaz also met that hurdle qualification. As a reward, she was involved in advocacy for climate and environmental issues as well as civil rights issues. Somehow, she was being compensated for all this as a reward for murdering a white adult and a child. That is why she died at the relatively young age of 56. She did not die of natural causes but was put to death for her crime. Virgil Abloh, born on September 30th, 1980 to Ghanaian immigrant parents in Rockford, Illinois, dubbed a fashion titan, was a fashion designer and entrepreneur. He obtained a bachelor's degree in civil engineering and a master's in architecture. He developed his attitude for fashion design from his mother, who was a seamstress. His spectacular success can be gauged by his accomplishments in founding his own fashion label Off-White, based in Milan, Italy in 2012, and then becoming the artistic director for Louis Vuitton menswear collection in 2018. In 2018, he was listed in Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential men in the world, which is a tremendous achievement. He died on November 28, 2021 in Chicago, ostensibly of cardiac angiosarcoma, a rare form of cancer, at the age of 41. Existence of German masqueraders and their dastardly deeds were fully discovered around 2000 and 2001. Virgil Abloh would have been around 20 to 21 years of age at that time. Being a son of immigrant parents, he must have been very ambitious to attain the American dream as quickly as possible. In fact, many immigrants came to America already promised the American dream after they had met the German masquerader hurdle qualification of murdering a white adult and or child of non-German American or British ancestry in their own country. When they came to America, German masqueraders delivered on their promise and helped them find jobs or start businesses or study in good universities and find success in their jobs and businesses quite easily with their sport. In return, they had to do exactly what German masqueraders ordered them to do while in America. Of course, the children of such immigrants were also assured success in getting a good education and jobs after that. However, to find spectacular success the way Virgil Abloh did, he had to go further. He had to meet the German masquerader hurdle qualification on his own. Abloh did that and murdered a white American adult and or child of non-German ancestry, most probably by cremating them alive in an electric crematorium. He was executed for that crime on November 28, 2021. He did not die of cancer as reported in the media. He knew about 2 years before his death that his days were numbered when he was ostensibly informed that he had a rare form of cancer. He knew after that he would be executed any day for that crime. Now, conviction of Arbery's killers. Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan Jr. were found guilty of murder and other charges for the shooting death of 25-year-old black young man Ahmaud Arbery. Travis McMichael was the one who shot Arbery. All three of them face possible life in prison. I agree with the lead prosecutor Linda Dunikowski's statement that the verdict today was a verdict based on the facts, based on the evidence, and that was our goal, which was to bring that to that jury so that they could do the right thing. She added, the jury system works in this country. There was no doubt about the guilt of the three men in the killing of Arbery, as there was absolutely no doubt about the guilt of police officer Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd. In both cases, video evidence showed that the four men were guilty of the crimes as charged. While speaking to the crowd after the guilty verdicts, Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, said, I never thought this day would come, but God is good. Justice seems to have been served in this case, so it seems. But justice was also served when Ahmaud Arbery was shot dead and when George Floyd was killed. Justice was also served when Ronald Green, Manuel Elijah Ellis, Dante Wright, Jacob Blake Jr., Dijon Casey, Daniel Prude, Casey Goodman Jr., Bobby Brown Jr., Jonathan Price, and some others were either shot or shot dead by police or otherwise killed. All these people were shot or killed for the crimes they were committing or had committed. I have covered the crimes of all these men in my previous videos. The younger of these black men were engaged in raping young white women and with threats forcing them to never divulge the crime. If these men had not been stopped, they would have continued to commit the same crimes with many more victims. That's why they had to be shot dead. That's the crime Ahmaud Arbery had committed, and that's why he was shot dead by Travis and George McMichael and William Roddy Bryan Jr. All these killings of black men have had the salutary effect of stopping these crimes in their tracks. I don't think any black men are now daring to rape young white females with threats. Ahmaud Arbery's mother's statement that God is good is correct, but it's not good the way she meant it. God is good because her son was brought to justice by being shot dead. In my video of May 10, 2021 titled Ugly Truth About the Killing of Ahmaud Arbery by Three White Men, I explained that Ahmaud Arbery was not an innocent black man gunned down by white racists. He, like George Floyd, Jacob Blake Jr., Dijon Casey, and others, were killed for the crime of using threats to rape young white girls or women or forcing them to have sex with them. In almost all these cases, the parents and other family members were involved in the crime of murdering a white adult and a child by cremating them alive in an electric crematorium. That's the crime Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, committed, just as George Floyd and his brother Philonis Floyd had also committed. She and they cremated a white adult and or child alive. German masqueraders rewarded murderers of white adults or children by forcing white women to become their wives or mistresses. That's the reward Ahmaud Arbery was cashing in on. He was shot dead for that crime. These black men who were running or walking around white neighborhoods, scoping out young white girls, then use threats to force them to have sex with them. Ahmaud Arbery was in the process of doing that when he was shot dead, and he had already committed that crime before. His mother and father had encouraged him to commit that crime. Ahmaud Arbery did not murder a white adult or child himself. His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, committed that horrendous crime. Her day of reckoning will come soon. She will have to pay with her life by being cremated alive in an electric crematorium. People must have noticed two attorneys who seem to get all these cases where young black men have been shot to death by police or others. They are attorneys Ben Crump and Lee Merritt. German masqueraders like to keep the wealth within their own circle. That means both Ben Crump and Lee Merritt met the hurdle qualification of cremating an white American adult and or child of non-German ancestry alive. Their day of reckoning will also come, and they too will pay in kind by being cremated alive in an electric crematorium. During the trial, you will have noticed that very prominent civil rights leaders and church pastors attended the proceedings in an attempt to intimidate the jury. These prominent civil rights leaders also became leaders after meeting the German masqueraders' hurdle qualification. Someday, they too will have to pay for their crimes with their lives. I hope people realize that these are not killings of innocent black men by racist white men or rogue policemen. The black men are being executed for some of the most heinous crimes a human being can commit. Rest assured that if there really are rogue policemen killing innocent black men, they will be brought to justice. Someday soon, police officer Derek Chauvin, Travis and George McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan Jr. will be set free and financially rewarded for having endured jail time for bringing murderers or criminals to justice. I think these killings of black men have had the intended effect. Black men are no longer committing such crimes. However, if any young black men persist in this crime, they will continue to pay with their lives. I hope they make the right choice. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my videos and read my articles on important world events, World War III watch, politics, international business, advice on health and medical problems, and much more for in-depth and insightful analysis. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel and Facebook channels, Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, to view and get information on the latest videos. Some people do not have the time to go through the full length of the videos. They find it more convenient to read the text of the video. Unfortunately, YouTube does not provide the facility to make the text of my videos available on YouTube. But fortunately, Facebook does provide that capability. So I make the text of my videos available on my Facebook channel, which you can easily copy.